Hi everyone, I am Sagar Shah and we are live today from Delhi covering the Commonwealth Championship. It's the fifth round and it's a bloody round. There have been so many decisive results already. By the way, the round is still going on. It's 1 p.m. here, so the round started at 9, so it has 4 hours have passed by. There are few games that are still going on, and I am very happy that there are a lot of people who came last time to watch this live and to learn from us. So I would like to welcome all of those people who are here today. Thank you. We have a few people who were waiting before. I'm not sure if they are still there, but I hope that you guys come back. So let's see, is it working? I just want to check. Uh, is the live stream working? So it has, yeah, okay, so it's working fine, and welcome all of you over here. So the first game that is extremely exciting, by the way, if you have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. We will be looking at a few games to show you what happened in the round. Basically, the first one is between Nitin, who was white, and Visak on the top board. Nitin is on 4 out of 4 and Visak on 3.5. And we had the very popular Najdorf. I think nearly 60 to 70% of the games that go into the Sicilian end up being Najdorfs. So that's the latest trend, everyone loves playing the Najdorf. So we have a few people, which is Vinny64 the king. Hi, welcome. Vishal Dharia is here. Hi Vishal. So bishop e3, e5, knight b3. This is all very standard stuff seen so many times. And f4 is not the most common move, but it is played many times. So bishop f4, knight c6, long castle, and now you see that this pawn is a little bit weak, but knight e5, the knight has a good square. Knight d4, short castle, knight f5, and Visak took ef5, and I already have a feeling that this position is pretty comfortable for white because this pawn is slightly weak. You have the two bishops here. I think there is a slight lag in this, but let's hope things will be better after some time. I'm using the internet here in the hotel, which may not be the fastest. So bishop e2, b5, king b1, queen b6, and now g4. Excellent move, typical in the style of Nitin. He is ready to sacrifice a pawn in order to open the g file towards the black king. I hope that the lag will improve. Just let me know if it gets any better. Chandan, hi, I know that you are waiting at 12 o'clock, so thanks for joining in again. b4, knight d5, takes, rook e8. I was actually thinking if a move like queen f2 was possible here when I was watching the game live. I get the feeling that I could definitely come back here to d2, or I could even go to e4, and also it's possible to take on e5. But then this might end up in very good counterplay. If I take here, I think bishop f6 is very strong. So queen f2, queen e4 definitely looks okay for white. Okay, so rook f e8, g5, bishop f8, rook f1, rook c7, h4, queen c6, and he took the queens and played h5. I think Nitin has played this game really well. He was not hell bent on mating the black king. He realized that he has the bishop pair, so that's good enough, an advantage, good pawn structure, and in general I think there has been absolutely nothing that black has been able to do. So f6, he got a passed pawn. Fantastic play. h6, take, king h7, rook d4. Now b4 is hanging, so rook b6, b3. He played rook e6, and now he transposed it into a very good endgame here. After king h6, rook d8 was played. There is no way to actually defend this bishop on f8. It has to move, and now backed by this rook here, this pawn is queening, and white just like that won an entire piece. This was pretty easy for Nitin to convert. I am actually very impressed with white's play, and I would say this is somehow something that can be recommended to people. Bishop e7, the move f4. You should definitely check it out with white. If you are playing an e4, if you are an e4 player, this looks really interesting to me. Also f5 is a threat now. I'm not sure what the best move for white should be in this position. ef4 definitely looks logical, but as Nitin played, he long castled here. He put his bishop to e2 and knight d4, knight f5. Okay, yeah, exactly, Vishal. White has played very aggressively. Excellent play by, sorry, just my mic has fallen down. Yeah, got it back. Excellent play by Nitin. Apart from this game, I think there were more decisive results. The most interesting one being Lakshman, who was playing against Vaibhav Suri. I was under the impression that this game is going to be a draw. I mean, there is absolutely nothing happening in this game, but suddenly, all of a sudden, Vaibhav Suri managed to win. Now, one of the things which I realized when I was moving around in the hall was that Vaibhav Suri was just so concentrated. You know, he was like, he wanted to play, he wanted to find the resources, while Lakshman looked a bit nervous. Like he always looks a bit nervous, but somehow I had a feeling that he would be tricked, and I think this is the position where I looked when I went into the playing hall. Praveen Hend is here. He says, "Hi Sagar, nice to see you working so hard. Hoping to read GM Sagar Shah in front of your name." Praveen, thanks a lot. I also hope that will happen soon. Nowadays, I have realized it's going to be a challenge, and whenever there's a challenge, it's always exciting if you can accept it. So I'm definitely thinking about it. But thanks for joining here. Aniket Kilgandre is here. Hi Aniket, welcome to the show. Vinny64 the King says your interviews are great. Thank you so much. I enjoy interviewing people. It's more like I'm interested in them, so I ask them relevant questions, they reply, and they turn out to be decent interviews. And that's how the ChessBase India YouTube channel has been growing. I think it has now 1300 plus videos, and to tell you the truth, it has been only 8 months since we have started doing this. So 1300 videos, it comes to an average of nearly 150 videos a month, which is like 5 videos a day. Well, to keep up that speed might not be easy, but at least I'm enjoying for now. Yeah, sure, we'll look at the games. Hi Kimaya, welcome. Also Aziz Shamin is here. Hi. So it's white to play here first of all, and Vaibhav played the very nice move rook b1, taking the open file. I mean, it looks pretty natural and normal. King f8, rook b5, dislodging the knight, and after knight d7 he played king d2. So you realize that white has all the microscopic advantages. His king is better than black's king, his rook is more active than black's rook, his knight is more active than black's knight, and also this pawn is more weak than this pawn. So all these are not huge on their own, but when they come together they become quite big, and for a player like Vaibhav, these are enough. You know, look at how he converts them. Okay, rook a7, f3, just calmly, he knows that black can't do much. I was wondering if black can come king e7, try to activate his king, but he played f6, rook b4, now a4 is hanging, knight c5. I think you could play rook c4 trying to attack, but then he might just defend with rook a5. So king c2 first, rook g7, very logical, attacking the g2 pawn. And here it could be possible, you know, to many people like to create some kind of play and take here, but I think black is completely fine after this. In fact, he might be even better. I think Lakshman may have missed this check, king e7, and now g3, just keeping control. So the rook on g7 is somehow locked out, you know, by the black king. Okay, Vinny64 says, I was the first among 1,000 subscribers to the channel. Thanks, Vinny, so much. Now we have reached, I think, 12,400, is it? Yeah. And judging from this, the fact that ChessBase India will go to the Olympiad, to the World Juniors, and all these top tournaments, I have this feeling that we would reach somewhere around 25,000 subscribers by the year end, hopefully more. Okay, so king d6, rook b4, king c6. Now I think rook a7 was possible, sorry, it was not possible because of knight b5, you lose the rook, so he had to play king c6, and now he won a pawn. So and this endgame would be a real tough task to defend. I think it could be defendable, but instead Lakshman just decided to go back, and after rook c4, king goes to d6, knight c3, white was a clear pawn up, and he converted the game. So this was a very grandmasterly kind of a win, and I think excellent play by Vaibhav. I interviewed him yesterday, and I asked him as to why does he play so less. You know, his rating is 2556. He is clearly one of the top players in India. His age is somewhere around 21, and he said that he doesn't like to play so much. He likes to prepare and go to every game, every tournament, and somehow I found that to be a very different approach than general approach. Like, everyone wants to play any good tournament. Oh, either ek acha tournament or I'll go somewhere, it's happening, so people want to go and play. But Vaibhav tries to maintain his, you know, self control. He wants to play only events where he is well prepared, so that's very nice. And also you must know this, that he was the youngest GM in the world when he became one. So he became one at the age of 15 years and 1 month, and at that age there was no one who was younger than him, GM in the world. So he's definitely such a big talent, and I'm looking forward to him performing well. Last year he had a good chance of winning the Commonwealth medal, the gold medal, but he lost to Abhijit Gupta. Okay. Tarun Balaji says, hi Tarun, welcome. Harshit Vij, IM and GM practice very much, but Mr. Sagar, your potential and hard work is very much more than any IM or GM. Keep doing this work. Our wishes will always be with you. Okay, that's wonderful, Harshit. Thank you so much. I also feel that the day when I have created enough people to continue the work that I'm doing is when I can go back and play chess. So right now we are in the process of creating the ChessBase India team. We have around 10-12 people working dedicatedly on different things. So I'm sure slowly and steadily I would be able to move towards my GM title. Um, Vishal Tiwari, first Bodu Shivasai, hi, welcome. Vishal Tiwari, how many GM norms you have? I have 2 GM norms. Shivam Gada, please give Dipan Chakravarti game. Sure. Also, no, Aziz Shamin, Black didn't resign here, but there were a few more moves. But I want to give a quick overview of things, so I won't go into the complete game at this point. Yeah, Meghna CH has been playing excellently. I think she has been one of the finds of the tournament. She first of all beat yesterday Abhijit Kunte day before, and yesterday she drew with Karthik Venkatraman. Fantastic, right? I mean, she's rated just 1955 and she beat 2494 and she drew with 2475. So fantastic performance. This just goes to show that if you play well, you can do anything against any rated player. Chetan Duggar, hi, welcome. Manivannan says, can you show the game of Akash? Sure, we will try and cover it. Harish Srinivas, thank you for liking our channel. And let's look at the game. This one is between Debashish Das and Meghna. So Debashish has been playing pretty well in this tournament. As I think I should show you one position from his game later after this one, if you can remind me after we have finished analyzing this game. It was a beautiful combination, so we'll come to it. So Debashish played d4, e6, c4, d5. He's white. Knight c3, bishop e7, takes, bishop f4, c6, e3. This is normal stuff. I can go into the intricacies of the opening, but just that usually black would like to develop his bishop to f5 and white usually gets bishop d3 stopping that bishop. But here white was not in time. So for example, if you look here, if I play e3, then after c6 I can stop your bishop from coming to f5, but my bishop is blocked here. So I try to get my bishop out, and of course now bishop f5 is not so great because queen b3 attacks both these pawns. So you first defend the pawn with c6, and then I do not have time to play bishop d3, so you get bishop f5. But the downside, as Botvinnik has shown, is that you get the move g4, and now you can expand on the king side. Bishop e6, h3, solid. Knight bd7, bishop d3, h6, queen c2, knight f6, bishop h2, knight b6, knight f3, a6. I overall am not a big fan of the way black has played a6, h6, but you can see Debashish is confident, he's playing really well, while Meghna is not so much in her territory here. So yeah, I think white simply managed to open up the position here, and the king here is too much in danger. So bishop f6, rook g1, cd, bishop d4, and just won a pawn. Yeah, so well, there were some fireworks, rook c3, but knight g7, bc3, and at this point I think white just won a piece. So there were some complications, but Debashish kind of navigated them very well. Smoky Dark says, hi from Australia, keep up the post interviews with the players. Very nice to hear the players go over their games. Thank you so much, Smoky Dark. I think Australia is one place where I have yet to visit. Amruta has been there, my wife, so I want to be there. And Neelab says hi Neelab. Rajneesh Tiwari, welcome. Vinny64 says the interview with Sarvanan was very informative, where he showed us some very good books. Yes, Sarvanan is one person who I like very much because of his knowledge, his the way he speaks. Very interesting personality. I hope I can chat with him again very soon. Shivam, welcome. Shavindra, also hi. Shavindra says, let's analyze the game of Jubin Jimmy. Shivam, the rating of Meghna is 1955. So that's how much she is rated. I'm sure she's gaining a lot of points. She's already gaining 45, but she's losing few points in her under 20 section. So let's move to the fourth game. I think very interesting game. As I have said, I always like to see games of Ratnakaran, and I learn so much of how to be tricky, but I also learn a lot of how not to play risky chess. He plays sometimes things which I cannot imagine. So let's go over the game of Ratnakaran. I have been giving him the name of Indian Tal, but of course it's more like representative in a sense of his style. He may not be as strong as Tal or something like that, but I enjoy his games. So e4 c5, no, it was e4 e6. This is French, and here Ratnakaran today went for something else. Usually he likes to play knight c6, knight e2, cd, ed, cd, cd, f6. This is how he normally plays, but today he went for b6. I don't know what happened to him, but let's look at how Karthik played. He first played knight e2, doesn't matter. Bishop a6. Every French player's dream, to exchange that horrible bishop, light squared bishop. But in chess, when you gain something, you lose something. So because you could exchange the bishop, you lost a lot of time. So take, knight takes and castle. Now the knight on a6 is doing nothing, so you have to relocate it. So he played knight c7, and in the meantime white has been able to build some kind of a lead in development. He'll put his knight on f3. This knight could go to h5. So many things could happen. But what I disliked overall now, the way Ratnakaran played, was g6 first, knight f3, now knight d3, overprotecting e5. Now overprotection is something which I would like to discuss over here just for once to make this point very clear. The point is, you overprotect the important point in your position. Okay, now someone would say, are you crazy? You're putting your knights to protect the e5 pawn, which is already protected by d4 pawn. Why should you do that? And the point is, you sometimes overprotect an important point, not because it's weak, but because if you protect it, your pieces are well placed. So for example, if you put a bishop on f4, it's a good square for the bishop. The reason being, black will never be able to play f6 because you're overprotecting that point. So for example, let's say castles, bishop f4, f6, I can take, and suddenly my bishop is on a good square. That's what overprotection basically means. You protect the points which are important, for which you have to find out those points. And I think Karthik has done a good job putting his knights on d3 and f3, stopping the f6 break, because then the knights become very active. Okay, so after castles, bishop g5 could move. I think we spoke about bishop f4, and now Ratnakaran plays f6, and this is where ef, gf, bishop f. I think this is a positionally, I shouldn't be so harsh, but I have to say it looks like a positionally lost game, because my knights are beautifully posted here. Rook can come to e1, the other rook can come to c1, while black is in a mess. So, rook e1, knight e8, rook c1, knight e5. Yeah, he took and took. Ratnakaran has saved many such positions, but I think Karthik is just in very good form, and it's not so easy to play against him. He managed to create excellent chances here for himself, and after the queen exchange he penetrated, and in the end he won the game. So the thing is that after knight e4, this is typical Ratnakaran. He gained counterplay, but I think Karthik is a player who is very good at calculating stuff, and so he realized that his counterplay is much better, and the rooks were exchanged. I have a feeling that this endgame is much better because white can create an outside passed pawn. Okay, so a few comments here. Manivanan says make more videos. Arun B, hello, nice commentary, thank you Arun. Naveed says I like your video very much, thank you so much Naveed. Who else do we have here? Chetan Duggar says when will you get your third GM norm? Well, I think so. Difficult question, yeah. Maybe when I start playing in somewhere in 2019, I should have serious chances of doing that. And I do plan that if I'm going to fight for my GM title, I'll keep you updated so that you are with me on that journey, sort of, hopefully. Shivam Gada, nice commentary, thank you Shivam. Arun B, when will you play? I think next year, because in this homeless nomadic journey that Amruta and I are on, where 7 months have been over since we left our home, we gave up our place, 5 more months to go, I think it's very difficult to play. It's because you don't have any place to prepare, to be at rest, so it's better not to play right now. Ratnakaran's rating is, according to me, 2385. Yeah, okay, that's a good suggestion. Manivanan says mention the ratings below. Okay, I will do that. Hari Srinivas, your interviews are excellent. Bodu Shivasai, you say how to develop middle game. A tough question, yeah. I mean, it's a long question as well. I think it would require a lot of explanations, but I could say that in order to develop your calculation, try to a middle game, you try to develop your calculation, try to solve more positions, get a little more what can I say, better at solving positions. I can recommend a few books, as I always do. Silman's Reassess Your Chess, one of my favorite books. In fact, recently I have been talking to Jeremy Silman, hoping that I can get his books to India, these Reassess Your Chess, so you can have these original ones, great copies. Okay, one more next game that we would definitely like to look at is between Akash G and Tejas Bakre. By the way, I must say Akash won the national premier, in which I played in 2012, so he became very famous because of that event. I made my first IM norm there, but to win national A ahead of Vidit, Deep Sen Gupta, I think there was also so many more GMs, Sethuraman, Lalit Babu, and he just finished ahead of all of them. So he was a big talent, but he took a break from chess for his engineering, and he's now back, so that's good news. And he was playing Tejas Bakre in this round, and the funny thing is, after e4 e5, the game ended in just 15 moves. Yeah, so Roy Lopez, d3 system. I just want to point out that castles, bishop e7, d3 is supposed to be bit better than d3 directly, because after d6 castle, black has the ability to develop the bishop via g7. This is what I read in one of the books, and I played it with black, and I feel that this bishop is well placed on g7 when you can castle, and not on e7. So these are small intricacies which okay, Akash didn't want to get into. He just played d3, d6 castles, b5, bishop b3, knight a5, and now came c4. This is something interesting. Now I would have imagined that he would take here and play this position, but instead he went bc, bishop a4, bd7, bg5, active play, not caring about the material. Tejas Bakre was a bit hungry. He took on d3, to which queen d7, queen d7, queen came to d5, queen into d3, and now came bishop e7. So my question to you here is, what should white play here? Can you think what should he do? Okay. Bad Sin TM says, why not f6 in Karthik Ratnakaran? Yes, exactly, f6 should have been better, but once you play b6, I think f6 becomes risky. Kazibek Royalist says, I am Nogarbek Kazibek. I am sure I have met you. Isn't it that we met in the World Youth Olympiad, where you were representing the Kazakhstan team, if I'm not wrong, or Uzbekistan? Just if you could tell us a bit more. I'm sure you're a strong player. Mithun Raj is here. Hi Mithun. Mani Vandan said, is that tactics is the best training to improve for a beginner? Yes, tactics is very good. Please solve a lot of tactics. That's what usually makes young kids very strong. Aniruddha Bhatt says, who is your pick for the tournament? Tough one. I have a feeling somehow that Debashish Das is in great touch. Also Vaibhav Suri. Either of the two, I feel somehow these two may win the tournament. Tanmay Mittal says, can you please suggest some good books for positional play? Tanmay, I think you're playing in the tournament, so thanks for joining in this live commentary. Some good books that I can suggest for positional play are Positional Play by Jakob Agard, that we have right now here. So if you want to buy, just buy it from us tomorrow. We will be putting up a stall here at the Commonwealth Championship. Also, some great news and exciting news for people is Jakob Agard is himself coming to Commonwealth Championship on 2nd. He will have 2 sessions in Delhi in this Leela Hotel at 4 p.m. and at 9 p.m. So please don't miss it if you are here. It will be really amazing to listen to him talk about how Sam Shankland reached the rating of 27-27. Abhi Shivhare says, show Deepan's yesterday's game. Okay, Abhi, I think I might not be able to do that, but I can say Deepan was better yesterday. He was winning, but then some noise took place in the hall. There was some wedding going on and he got disturbed, he got distracted, he blundered, and he was very, very upset after the game. Yes, we have a few. Chetan, you says, how to build a opening repertoire for tournament? Very, very important question. Let me see if I can answer that, but before I come to it, let me see if someone has got the answer. Neelab says, bishop into f6. Well done, Neerab. Bishop f6, queen d5 with the double attack on a8 and a5. Excellent, Neelab. Also, the right answer was given by Abhi Shivhare. Harshit and Shivam say you should play rook d1 here, and this is what I mean. Yeah, rook d1 is not a bad move. It's very good, but if you are tactically strong, you would have finished the game with bishop f6 and queen d5. So Shivam Gada got it. Anirudh Bhatt says bishop f6 to solidify the d5 square. Not just to solidify, Anirudh, but to win an entire piece. Venkat Pranit has also asked the same question. So about opening repertoire, so I'll come to it, but look at this, a GM losing in just 14 moves. And who says that you cannot beat a GM? You know, you can do it, provided you work hard, you have decent opening knowledge, you can be tactically strong, and this is what happens. Tejas was pretty sad after the game, but you know, who would not be when they lose in 14 moves? Omkar Chakradev says, was Tejaswini Sagar living in Karjat when she was very young? Yeah? Yes, okay. Amruta nods her head. She says, yes, she was living in Karjat. Very young girl, excellent talent, and now she's in lead in the under 18 girls section. What is Akash's rating? Akash's rating is 2389, if I'm not mistaken, 2391. Tejas is 2439. Yes, Abhishek, you are right, taking on f6 and queen d5. Harshit says queen d5, knight c6. Yes, very good, Harshit. What happens now? So let's just keep it simple and tell me what happens. Yes, correct. Shivam Gada and Mithun Raj are absolutely right. Rook c1, and you win the piece back. Okay, so I had also a question from Shashwat Kundar, who said, please suggest some book on endgames. First, let me come to the question of how to build an opening repertoire. In general, I have this belief that work on opening should never be a shortcut. Okay, so you should never ever feel that, oh my god, there is so much theory in chess, I should play sidelines, I should opt for openings which I can prepare within a day or something like that. So in general, what I would recommend you to do is choose a dream repertoire, you know, what you want to play, a main line. For example, if you are an e4 player, go for the open Sicilian, go for the Roy Lopez, go for stuff which has scope in it, you know, because many years we play the Grand Prix for against the Sicilian, we play some kind of 4 knights against e4 e5, Jobawa opening, bishop e2 d3, you know, all these things, and then we realize that black is equalizing easily and you know we're not getting anything. But if you play the Roy Lopez, for example, which has been endorsed by great masters right from, let's say, times immemorial, then what happens is, even if you play badly, you know that this opening has good scope, I can improve and I can become better. So why not start this tough journey straight away from today? If you are going to prepare an opening repertoire, make sure it's ambitious, it's main line based, don't go for shortcuts. So if you want to play with black, play e4 e5, which has a lot of theory, play the Najdorf, you know, you might lose a few games, it's possible, but then you learn from those games and you improve. You should not be like, I don't want to play the Najdorf, it's so much theory, let me play the dragon, and then you know you deep within, of course dragon is a decent opening, but if you want to play the Najdorf, do it now. Okay, now is the time. Yes, sir, can you start tutorial on this channel? I think I should. By the way, Amruta had 3 parts of Sicilian Khan which went really well. Amruta, when can we expect the next part, 4th part?
Right now I'm not sure, but maybe soon.
She says maybe soon. She's sitting right opposite me. So I think I'll call it a day for now. I know that there were many more games to see and watch, but I think we will be back in the evening with perhaps Vishal Sareen if he's there, or else just me. And Anuj Mishra says, please start a tutorial for openings, please. Okay, I will try my best to do this, but thank you all for joining in. It was really a fun session. I think a pretty short one, but we had very good interaction with each other. and you can sense that this Commonwealth is heating up. There's one more round today. Today is the only double round. It will start at 4 p.m. and I couldn't be more excited. I think it's going to be Debashish Das on the top board against Nitin, or Vaibhav Suri against Nitin. So either of them, it'll be excellent. Anuj says, I'm from Uttarakhand and here there is no chess tradition. Now there is no need for chess tradition to become good. You don't need a coach in your place. There's technology. You can become best. In Norway, there was absolutely no sport chess tradition, and Magnus Carlsen came out from there. In India, there was very little chess tradition, and Vishwanathan Anand came from there. So maybe from Uttarakhand, we can have Anuj Mishra coming out. Yeah. So thanks a lot, and I have there are a few more questions coming in, but please join me again next time where we can talk about them. Thank you so much. Goodbye.